Hello, I'm Alicia, and welcome to Country Music Around the World, presented by the Nashville Broadcasting Radio Network. I am so excited about today's show. I know you're out there asking why. Well, today is the official release date for a song entitled Then a Girl Walks In by my pal Marty Raybon along with Shenandoah and Blake Shelton. And I've been given the honor of sitting here in the role of DJ for all these songs on the album and conducting an interview with Marty. Y'all, this is a great album. Of course it is. It's Shenandoah. But every song except one also features a guest performer whose names I know you will recognize. So let's get this show on the road, starting at the top, working our way down through the songs on this great album. And the first one is sure to bring back some memories, and it might just tug at your heartstrings. The guest on this first song is none other than the fantastic Zac Brown Band. I'd take another one of those.
A day with my granddaddy and his old skeeter boat, a sack of bologna sandwiches and 2 old fishing poles. I'd take another one of those. I'd take another one of those. A ride out to the river on a couple of rowdy bikes, old t-shirts and swimming suits, my brother close behind. I'd take another one of those. I'd take another one of those. If I could take a trip back down the road, I'd take another one of those. Another first kiss in the front seat, July summer, windows down. Another lap around the main drag of our sleepy little town. Another don't know what you got until it goes. I'd take another one of those. Another hot Daytona night, another anything that ever makes you glad to be alive. That I love you when she hangs up the phone. I'd take another one of those. Man, the way she loves me, I just can't get enough. Every secret smile she gives me, every turn the lights off touch, I'd take another one of those. Oh, I'd take another one of those. And another for the road. I'd take another one of those. Another one of those.
Oh my gosh, I love it. What a way to kick things off. You know, when country music lovers talk about the great groups, Shenandoah is always right up there at the top. We love songs like 2 Dozen Roses, Church on Cumberland Road, Next to You, Next to Me, I Want to Be Loved Like That, and the Grammy winner, Somewhere in the Vicinity of the Heart, duet with Alison Krauss. Shenandoah has recorded 10 studio albums, with 3 being certified gold, and plays 26 singles on Billboard's Hot Country Songs chart. These guys from Muscle Shoals, Alabama have without a doubt made their mark in country radio with over a dozen #1 records, and they can stand the test of time, and now they're back. The next song on their Every Road album is a tune called Make It Till Summertime. It has that traditional country sound and that distinct Shenandoah ring, and it's a perfect dancing tune whether you want a two-step or line dance. So tap your toe while you take a listen to Make It Till Summertime.
I've been swinging this hammer in the freezing driving rain. Another 2 months she's gonna be mine to claim. I've been saving every penny, every dollar I make. Come on, Father Time, for July's sake. I can make her mine if I can make it till summertime. Yeah, she's my barefoot sweet kiss on the river, taking in that big moon, counting them stars together. Let love flow like that muddy water. Can't you smell that honeysuckle vine? I can make her mine if I can make it till summertime. I got a spot picked down for a blanket neath the Georgia pine. I know if I can get her there, she's gonna have her lips on mine. The only cold around here's in a bucket of ice, a little muscadine wine. She won't think twice. I can make her mine if I can make it till summertime. She's my barefoot sweet kiss on the river, taking in that big moon, counting them stars together. Let the love flow like that muddy water. Can't you smell that honeysuckle vine? I can make her mine if I can make it till summertime. Sunshine, blue skies, that's her kind of weather. Don't I wish it'd stay like this forever? She's my barefoot sweet kiss on the river, taking in that big moon, counting them stars together. Let love flow like that muddy water. Can't you smell that honeysuckle vine? Yeah, I can make her mine if I can make it till summertime. Yeah, I can make her mine if I can make it till summertime.
Now, if that don't light your fire, your wood's wet, y'all. And by the way, if you'd like to buy this album or some of that great Shenandoah merchandise, visit www.shenandoahband.com. They have some brand new stuff, such as long and short sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, hats, tank tops in lots of colors, and several have the titles of the songs on this album on them. And this stuff might just turn out to be real collector's items, so you better get one quick, or get 2 or 3, or, oh shoot, get a bunch. And here comes another song that'll take you back and make you think. I think this one could be my favorite, but it's almost impossible to pick just one out of the 10 songs. They're all way over the top. So take a listen to Shenandoah featuring Ashley McBride, and I'll bet you find yourself saying, "If only," all day long.
Church choir was the only high, Monday morning was the only low, Mama's way was the only right, straight and narrow was the only road. The front porch was only built for sipping iced tea. The wild grass growing down in the back was the only weed. If only life would stay like that. If only this old world wouldn't spin so fast. If we were more thankful, more grateful, loved everyone with all we have. if we remember all the good and forget the bad. If only it was as easy as that.
Main Street was the only way in. Dreaming big was the only way out. Simple prayer was the only way up. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. If only life would stay like that. If only this whole world wouldn't spin so fast. If we were more thankful, more grateful, loved everyone with all we have. If we remember all the good and forget the bad. If only it was as easy as that. Hard work was the only way to work.
And true love was the only way to love. If only life would stay like that. If only this whole world wouldn't spin so fast. If we were more thankful, more grateful, loved everyone with all we had. If we remember all the good and forget the bad. If only it was as easy as that. Oh, if only.
Oh, if only.
If only.
If only. Ain't that the truth? Well, this next song is the title song to the album Every Road, and it has Dierks Bentley adding his special touch. It's a little different than your typical Shenandoah tune, but believe me, it's an 11 out of 10 for sure, and it has such a great message. I think it might even sound a little bit Native American in places. See what you think. Every Road.
We all gotta chase a deep down feeling, needing, dreaming something bigger than we are. You can't see it, but you know it's waiting out there somewhere, hiding out among them stars. No matter where you might run, you're part of where you come from. Every road leads you home. There's a place out there where you find yourself, gotta go. You never know where that blacktop river might flow, but you're never lost if you follow your heart. Every road, if you're the kind to take the one less traveled, might be gravel, even from your daddy's farm. Could be a crowded city, 4-lane highway, before it's too late. Gotta take it out of park. No matter where you might run, you're part of where you come from. Every road leads you home. There's a place out there where you find yourself, gotta go. You'll never know where that blacktop river might flow, but you're never lost if you follow your heart. Every road leads you home. Leads you home. stop signs in the sky. So baby, go on and fly. Every road leads you home. There's a place out there where you find yourself. Gotta go. You never know when that blacktop river might flow. But you're never lost if you follow your heart. Every road leads you home. Leads you home.
I have a gentleman on the phone with me today who has got Grammys under his belt, ACM Awards, CMA Awards. He heads up the band Shenandoah along with his co-founding member Mike McGuire, and he has just released a new album, and especially this newest song called Then a Girl Walks In with Blake Shelton. Hey, Marty Raybon, how are you doing?
I'm absolutely wonderful, Alicia. It's so good to talk with you again.
It is, you too, and you know you're always absolutely wonderful. I tell you what, your music just never gets old. It's always right there in the front and center. I just think that you guys are great. Been following you for years, and now you've got a new one. Tell me about Then a Girl Walks In. I cried when I heard that, by the way. That's the sweetest story in that song.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just kind of one of those kind of things that pulls on old mama, especially Daddy's heartstrings, when you decide and realize that the day has come that you're going to have to give up that baby girl. And,
I'm telling you.
Now, of course, I don't, honestly, truly, I don't know any of that because, you know, all me and Melanie's ever had is old hairy-legged boys. That's all we got. So, anyway, Blake Shelton came and helped us on this one. It stems from a record, of course, called Every Road, and it started off as really kind of a record to see if we could get a couple of folks over to record a couple tunes with us, and before it was all over with, it turned out to be a full-fledged duets record.
Well, I tell you, that whole album is fantastic. You've got I'd Take Another One of Those with Zach Brown Band, Make It Till Summertime with Luke Bryan, If Only with Ashley McBride, Every Road with Dierks Bentley, Then a Girl Walks In, the other cut on there that you just talked about with Blake Shelton, High Class Hillbillies, I like that title, Cody Johnson, Every Time I Look at You with Lady A, which was Lady Antebellum, Life Would Be Perfect with Brad Paisley, and then I'll Be Your Everything with Carly Pierce, and Boots on Broadway with Austin Merrill. I tell you, that whole album is just over the top, and I've listened to those songs. They are awesome.
Well, you know, we're just fortunate enough again to be able to, you know, to get our hands on some great songs. Some of them we wrote, but, you know, Adam Sanders, Lance Miller, Brett, and Brad Warren had pitched this tune. Adam Sanders is the one that pitched it. And we had been doing a couple of things around town for 90s nights with Michael Ray and Adam and a couple other folks that were doing some of the newer artists that were doing the 90s nights. Anyway, so we got to knowing Adam, and man, he's just a very, very talented guy, a great singer, tremendous songwriter. And anyway, so Mike had put in and said, man, look, man, send us some of your stuff. So the next thing you know, he started sending songs, and then Mike McGuire, the drummer in the band, Mike said, man, Marty, you need to listen to this. Then a girl walks in. And I said, okay, because he had sent them to Mike, so Mike had been listening. Anyway, so when he did, I said, man, that's killer, isn't it? I said, yeah, man. I said, you know what that sounds like? And he said, what? I said, that sounds like Blake Shelton. He goes, man, he said, yeah, Blake would cut that. I said, man, Blake would cut that in a heartbeat. So, therefore, that lent itself to, and let me tell you how the Blake Shelton thing actually came about. You know, people think you sit in rooms and you get this executive and this lawyer and all this other kind of, this is how you get stuff worked out. And, you know, it's done professionally and this is what you do and papers are signed and all this kind of stuff. Now, papers get signed eventually.
Right.
We were at the CMA. Well, I'd already been texting Blake to see if he wanted to be a part of this record. Anyway, so he was going down the corridor to get ready because he was fixing to perform. And, of course, I knew that, and I didn't want to aggravate him or bother him or anything like that. I said, hey, Blake, bro, are you going to do a record with us on this brand new project? He goes, yeah. He said, send me a tune. I said, what? He goes, send me a tune. And I said, okay, so you're in? You want to be? Yeah. Call Marvel and tell him I'm in. And so our manager was right directly behind me, and I turned around to Cole Johnston and said, Now, did you hear that? He goes, yeah. He said, Blake said, call Norman. I said, that's exactly what he said, so call him. And then right before he said, send me the tune. Send me a tune. So when we did, I mean, we had then a girl walks in. So, I mean, we sent it over there to him real quick before he get his feet cold or anything like that. And while the iron was hot, we struck. And, man, before it was all over. But let me tell you what old Blake did.
Okay.
Man, this cat, man, he's a trooper and a half. And, of course, we got all this COVID stuff going on, and people can come to the studio, and some people are not coming to the studio. And all that's fine. And we didn't have a problem with that. You know, some people are doing it in their home studio, just like Lady A did. They did theirs in the home studio, and that's fine. Everything turned out great. So anyway, so Blake was finishing up the voice and all this other kind of stuff. Said, look, well, Blake, do you have any idea when you can get it done so that we can get after it? And he said, look, I'll tell you what you do. I'll take care of it. Just get me the tune and I'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so the way it all worked out, we literally had sent an engineer to Oklahoma.
Oh, wow.
The engineer went to Oklahoma, recorded him, and brought it back. Here's the piece of jewel about Blake Shelton. This is the kind of guy he is. Uh-huh. When me and Blake were talking, when he said, yeah, this is the key, we'll do this and stuff. I said, well, if we just get the key, bro, just keep doing the voice thing. And then when you get done and you got time, then you can do it. But at least we'll have the key right and everything like that. He said, cool. I said, look, Blake, bro, you don't have to sing all of it. Just sing the second verse. Sing all the second verse and then the chorus that follows. Mm-hmm. And then the bridge. Just sing all the bridge if you would, because what we'll do is we'll mix it up and we'll find out what goes where and what goes here and this kind of stuff. And then when we mix it and put it all together, we'll just put parts in where they belong. And he said, yeah, cool, there's no problem. Well, when we got it back, we had 6 versions.
Oh, my goodness.
6 different versions of it from top to bottom.
That's awesome.
He had sang every single bit of it 6 different times. He said, look, find out what you like in it and just pick what works for you. And so anyway, so we got it over to Scott Hendricks, which is his producer, and of course, being there at Warner, Scott is. Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, they get it all edited down and the way it is, and okay, this is what you want to do, and this is what we want to use here. And next thing you know, Buddy Cannon, the engineer, gets everything together, and boom, and away we're going. It was just... the way he went about it was an absolutely wonderful way of doing it. And I thought, man, that's so cool of him to do that because, I know he don't have time to do all that, but he did it. And to be honest with you, that just speaks volumes about his character.
Absolutely it does. And isn't it amazing how you can go into different studios, you can put down those WAV files, you can mix them, blend them, fly them, whatever you need to do, and come out with whatever you want or a combination of a lot of different things. It's just awesome to me.
Yeah, it's amazing the way it came from the way that they used to do it.
Isn't that the
a long time ago, you used to have to stand in front of a microphone, and if anybody messed up, you had to start over.
Oh, yeah. Kind of like singing karaoke, isn't it? Oh, well, I'll tell you, this is a super album. I think it's going to be just hot, hot, hot. But I'll tell you what, I don't know. It's going to take a lot to beat Church on Cumberland Road, Sunday in the South, 2 Dozen Roses, but Marty Raybon and Shenandoah are part of it, so it's going to be right up there with it, I'm sure.
Well, tunes like this one, the one that we got to do with Ashley McBride, If Only thing, that Lori McKenna, Phil Barton, Jason Boyer, what an absolutely killer song.
Yes.
And, it's one of those kind of songs that if you get the record, I still call them records.
Sure. If
you get the project or get the CD, whatever in the world you want to call it, the new music, you'll find out that that's another one of those songs that you just get to thinking, my goodness sakes alive, that is just absolutely unbelievable.
Well, that song is so cool because it starts out with the guy all alone, and then the girl walks in. Then they fall in love, so to speak. It doesn't call it that, but it's that. And then they get married. She walks down the aisle. Then there comes the baby. I mean, it covers the gamut, and it's so real. It's just so real.
Yeah.
And I think whether it's a boy baby or a girl baby, this song could fit in with anybody's life that's ever fallen in love, gotten married, had children. I mean, there's nothing like it. That song is so full of emotion. It's unbelievable.
It is. I mean, it's just one of those things that, it really is. It's just it's a really, 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 it's just a well-written song. It really is.
And well performed. I have to tell you, it's a gorgeous cut on the whole thing. The instruments are right up there at the top. The vocals, the harmonies, everything is just right on top. Let me ask you a quick question and then come back to that. And if you can get just maybe a minute of your time on this idea. In the olden days, you could walk into a radio station. You could take a 45 RPM record and say, hey, spin this for me, see what the listeners think. And you can't do that anymore. Everything is so syndicated. Everything is so computerized. And the indie artists, there's so many wonderful indie artists out there who will never be heard on mainstream media. What is your slant on that?
Oh, well, I think it's a shame.
It is, isn't it? Do you know what we want to do? I've talked with several people. We would like to find a way to bridge that gap. If it's nothing but find a chart that would incorporate both mainstream and independent artists and be validated so that they have an equal opportunity just from airplay and enthusiasm to compete. But I don't know if that will ever happen because of the money situation, the political situation involved in music these days.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think if somebody ever struck out to do that, and that was their intention,
and it
because
is.
see, in other words, the music has got to be at a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be where somebody goes, I don't know tune, I slung this thing, and the guitar's out of tune. And,
right.
And you can't put stuff like that out because what you'll find is you will have no audience.
Of course, and we're trying to pick the best of the best, the cream of the crop in the indie sector.
That's right. And what you're saying, and when you find that really, really good stuff, then you turn right back around and you give people the opportunity. See, I still believe that it's still the people's music.
It should be. It should be.
And I know that, look, and believe me, I know the hoops to jump through. I know the gatekeepers
and
all that kind of stuff that keeps anybody from getting this done or getting that done and all that other kind of stuff. And is it aggravating? Absolutely aggravating. The politics in it, sickening.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of stuff. And then you'll listen to somebody like a Tim Menzie, not only being the songwriter that he is, but the singer that he is.
Right.
And even a Mac McAnally.
Mm-hmm.
Being the songwriter and the singer that he is. And you get to thinking, man, why in the world don't these guys happen? And somebody goes, well, they just didn't work at radio. What? I mean, did you try them? And then you can go, and we do. We go to a lot of places where they've got an opening act, and that's who the buyer wanted on the ticket.
Uh-huh.
Like, in other words, look, I want y'all to come in, but look, I've got an opening act, and this is who I want to use for this day. Well, it's your show. That's fine. And you go out and you listen to them, you get to thinking, man, that cat needs to move to town.
There you go.
Or man, she has no business here.
Right.
Man, she needs to be up there where everybody can listen to her.
But to get the foot in the door, man, to get the foot in the door, you got to sell your heart, body, and soul to somebody.
Yeah, so then when you hear that, look, I don't know whether you're interested in this or not, but to be honest with you, after listening to you, man, have you ever considered going, well, I went there, and to tell you the truth, I left. I was so discouraged, and nobody had time for me that, they made me feel like I didn't belong.
Well, I did that back in the 80s. I mean, I did that in the 80s, and I just chose to come home and raise kids, and so now I'm starting at this age.
Yeah, well, you know what? There ain't nothing wrong with that either, So,
but it's a great business, and I tell you, the successful musician doesn't have to have just talent. That's a big requirement, of course. But the successful musician's got to have heart in that music. They've got to believe it. They've got to feel it. They've got to go to bed thinking about it, wake up thinking about it, and just constantly loving it. You got to love it.
Yeah, that's right. And I think exactly what you're talking about. And it can be done. I just think the biggest thing about it, Alicia, I just think that there's nobody, I don't know that anybody has studied it to the point of going, you know what, if I got some help and we say we give ourselves 3 years to make this happen. And then at the end of 3 years, if this don't happen, then nobody will ever say that it wasn't tried and somebody didn't give it the good old boy effort.
Well, we're working on that. I've got a team of folks, and we're all diving into it head first. NBRN Radio is really trying hard to push the indie artists along with the mainstream media. I know that Billy Bowles and that station KSSL-FM out in Texas is working on it, and the AWA is working on it, and we are trying our best to find a way to bridge that gap. We really are. Now, let's get back to Marty Raybon. I want to ask you quickly, how did you get in the music business, Marty?
Just loving it.
There you go.
That to the point that I literally loved it enough and wanted to do it bad enough that I left. I was working with my daddy. I was laying block and brick in Florida. That's where I'm from. Wikipedia says that I was born in Greenville, Alabama. I lived in Greenville, Alabama, but I was not born there. I was born in Sanford, Florida. Anyway, so I was living in Florida, and in 1984, I told my mom and dad, I said, look, I'm going to Nashville, and I'm going to see if, I don't want to be 40 years old and, wonder why in the world I never did it.
Right.
And my daddy gave me the best advice in the world. He really did. For one thing, my daddy and mama knew that I would work. So they knew if I ever got up there and got hungry or needed a place to stay, that I'd go and I'd get me a block laying job or some type of laboring job. And I would get the means to keep me out of the cold and keep me with something to eat. My mom and dad never had to worry about that. And I really do believe that was the reason why they were willing to let me go so easy. Anyway, this is what my daddy said. He said, son, he said, Nashville, Tennessee ain't in Sanford, Florida.
Right.
He said, what you need to accomplish, you ain't going to find that here.
True.
He said, either you get to Nashville, Tennessee and see if you can't make it happen, or just get it out of your mind.
Mm-hmm. We know what you chose.
But he knew good and well I didn't want that out of my mind. I literally wanted, to go and do it. And, the only thing in the world that I really wanted was a fair shake. That's the only thing in the world that I wanted.
Exactly.
And I thought, if I can get up there and if I can get around and try to make as many friends and all that kind of stuff as I possibly can, then by then I'm going to do it, and I'm going to see what I can't do to grind through it. I'm going to see if I can't make it in the country music business. And I promised my mom and daddy, I said, I'm going to tell you something. I ain't coming back until I've done something. And I literally did not come back to Florida until after I got a publishing deal with Larry Butler.
How long did that take you?
That took me right at 9 months.
Oh, wow.
And
that's a pretty short time considering starting from the ground up and going forward.
Well, but the thing about it was, I had knew a couple of people up there. So when I got up there, it's kind of like I knew the avenue to start working on when I got there. Mm-hmm. So what I did, I befriended Bud McGuire. Bud McGuire is the brother to Mike McGuire,
right.
The gentleman I've been in business with the group Shenandoah that plays drums. He and I have been friends for better than 35 years. And Bud was the one that came into the Western Room when I got up there. See, when I went to town, I already had a job. Mm-hmm. I was working with a group called Heartbreak Mountain. In fact, it was a bunch of old boys out of Florida that I knew. So therefore, it parlayed into a job when I got there.
Yeah.
And when I did, people like Matt Vickery, Bud McGuire, Stan Kempston, Bobby Braddock that wrote He Stopped Loving Her Today. All these people would come in to the Western Room. Uh-huh. And next thing you know, they say, hey, man, do you sing demos?
Ever?
And to tell you the truth, I didn't really know what that meant. I said, the first time I was asked, do you sing demos? And Bud was the one, he said, man, I need you to sing some demos for me. Uh-huh. I didn't want to look like an idiot. So nothing to it.
Of course.
And then, so I got, man, what is a demo? That's where, people lay down songs they can pitch. I said, so in other words, it's not somebody else's record. No, they want somebody to cut their song, and they'll get somebody to sing it, and that's what they'll pitch to somebody to record it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm doing right now. That's exactly what I'm doing right now, but it's harder now than it was then, for sure.
Yeah, because, again, there's so many gatekeepers, and you can't get anybody on the phone.
Not at all.
But anyway, but the one thing that I will say for everybody that's listening, don't quit. Don't give up doing that. If you really believe that you were meant to do this, if it's in your heart, it's in your mind, and if it's in your spirit, this is what you got to do. You literally believe that the providence of God is on your life. This is what I'm doing. This is what I know the Lord wants me to do. Mm-hmm. Don't quit. It's kind of like the fellow that goes and he takes the pickaxe and he goes into the mine, and he's literally a strike away from a gold strike.
Mm-hmm. If he quits too quick, he misses the gold, doesn't he?
He misses it and walks away and gives it to somebody else just because he walked away from it.
That's right. And you touched on something that I believe wholeheartedly, and I know your story. I've watched and listened to you. And I know that you went the whole gamut, and I know that you found the answer is straight up above. To any question, there's your answer.
Absolutely. Listen, the Lord, a lot of people have said, down through the years, man, I guess y'all were just at the right place at the right time. Man, I guess timing means everything. Man, I guess y'all were just lucky enough that happened. Look, I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in happenstance.
I don't either.
I don't believe in the right place at the right time. I believe in the providence of God. It's what I believe in.
Absolutely. And if it's His will, it'll happen. And if it's not, sometimes He'll let it happen to teach you a lesson or to teach somebody else a lesson. But generally, if you look to the Lord for your direction, you're going to get the right direction always. Mm-hmm. And if you don't look to the Lord for your direction, you're stumbling.
Yeah, you can certainly walk around in blindness as far as that goes.
Yes.
But, even in the trek of getting there, I learned so much. I really did. I found friendships. To this day, I still have. I found friendships back then. Most of us in the same boat, up there on our last can of corn. Mm-hmm. Just trying to do what we can to, try to see what we do, man. We lost that gig at the Western Room. We got to go somewhere else and find some work. Just that steady thing that happens while you're going through it is what they call paying dues.
Right.
And the thing about it is what you find when everybody's on the same plane and everybody's on the level field and all that other kind of stuff, and there's no big I's and little U's, that kind of stuff, that's when you really found a brotherhood and the love of country music that people talk about that the entertainers have with one another.
You're right. You're so right.
That's what that stems from, because everybody's in the same place and everybody's trying to do the same thing and everybody's pulling for everybody. Man, I hope you get this. Man, I got an audition with RCA. I'm going to go by there and I'm going to visit with them in the office and maybe sing a couple songs. Well, good. man, I pray the Lord just bless you, and I pray you get it,
You know, I used to go to Nashville all the time, and I thought for a while it was the music. It was the music. You know what I learned? I learned the music opened the door, but it was the people, the right people. And this last time I went to Nashville, I didn't even go listen to any music, but I did associate with the people. I hung out with Margie Singleton. You know, that was just the blessing. And the music is what brought us together, and it keeps us going through the friendships you find in the music business.
Yeah, it certainly is. You're absolutely right, Alicia.
Back to your album, I will tell you that we are going to push this thing. We're going to push your new song, Then a Girl Walked In. It's just a fantastic thing. I just believe in it wholeheartedly. I think it's a wonderful album. Every song on there is good. But Then a Girl Walked In, that is a song, man. That is just a song. And you guys do a great job with it. I am so eager to put that out there on the 29th when you release that officially and just get the feedback from the audience, because I know it's going to go over like gangbusters.
Yeah, well, Lord, that's what we've been working for, and that's what we're truly hoping will, take place. And, again, it kind of goes back to what if the Lord wants this to work, it's going to happen. And we need folks like y'all to, to help us to get it to work. And, I can't thank you enough for even the opportunity we have today for me and you to sit and talk and stuff like that, and be able to share our friendship that we've had, and to be able to get to tell the story about the record and the tune itself, and to be able to just let people know kind of a little bit of the inside baseball that goes on with that. And
it's so big. It's so much involved. And, you had to reschedule your Every Road tour. You're starting back up on March 27th, and you're going to be all over the place, from Texas to here to there, and you're going to go all the way to the end of October. And I hope that there is a time in there when I'll get to visit with you, because I just would love to see you again live. There's something about a live performance that you just can't beat.
Yeah. And look, this COVID thing's kind of getting out of the way, I think.
I hope so. I think
things are loosening up in a lot of different places in the country, and it's wonderful because, man, you're right. Live music, Lord, it just ministers to people's spirit and their soul, and
it does,
and ours as well.
And in your case, it's not just the music, because I'll tell you, I've watched you on stage, and it's more than music. And surely the music's right up there, but you put out so much more, you yourself and your band, than just music. You put out real life. And that's a huge, huge boost to the music. It's just a combination of all of that. It's heart and soul.
Look, we love doing what we're doing. We really do. We can't wait to get back out there and get after it. And again, I can't tell you how much, Alicia McLeod, how much I appreciate you. And I appreciate your spirit is the way you love music, and you're going after what you're doing. I think it's a wonderful thing. And,
well, thank you, Marty.
And
I appreciate it.
I truly do appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
And I do yours too. Stay on the line, Marty. And now here's that great song that Marty and I were talking about that features the fantastic voice of Blake Shelton, the one that made me cry the first time I heard it. And to you guys who fell head over heels in love and married that girl, and especially to all you dads out there who have daughters, grab a tissue and tell everybody you just got something in your eye. Then a girl walks in.
When dollar bills are worth every cent, splitting the rent, you and your boys 5 deep in a 2-bedroom parking lot view, sleeping till noon, doing what you want to do when you're high on life, and life can't get any better. Then a girl walks in, you know the right one, you can tell, shine like $1 million penny in a wishing well. Buying drinks turns into buying roses. You're thinking rings, changing names. That's how the story goes. Just when you think you got it all, and then a girl walks in. Yeah, a girl walks in. When you're staying up late just to talk on the phone, you hate saying goodnight, you hate sleeping alone, so you pack up the back of your truck with her stuff. That 2-year lease ain't long enough when you're high on life, and life can't get any better. Then a girl walks in, you know the right one, dressed in white, the kind you want to keep the rest of your life. Then raising glasses, dropping roses, she's dancing with her daddy. That's how the story goes. It's when you think you got it all, and then A girl walks in, yeah, a girl walks in. A girl walks in and says there's one on the way. Then one day a girl walks in looking like her mama, says I love you daddy. Right then you know she's gonna steal your heart and you have to let her go. And then boy comes along, that's how the story goes. Just when you think you got it all, and then oh, ain't it funny how you think you got it all, and then a girl walks in. Yeah, a girl walks in. Then a girl walks in.
See what I mean? That'll knock your feet right out from under you. Okay, so let's just toss that tissue away for now and let's have some fun. Here's a great dance tune all about the real country music stars. Marty Raybon along with Cody Johnson throw it out there and tell it like it is. After all, they're a couple of high-class hillbillies.
Raised in a barn, and we ain't far off a farm. We drive a little seed trucks, drink from Yeti cups, but that don't change who we are. We're just high class hillbillies, bringing country to the city. You see us everywhere you go, you hear us on the radio. You can put us in a suit, polish up our boots, but nothing's gonna change really. We're just high class hillbillies. When we see the sun go down, we ain't afraid to get uptown. Yeah, and our star-spangled britches, a pearl snapper with it, running with the fancy crowd. We're just high-class hillbillies, bringing country to the city. You see us everywhere you go, you hear us on the radio. You can put us in a suit, polish up our boots, but nothing's gonna change really. We're just high-class hillbillies. Yeah, we got a little money, we earned every cent, but we're the same good old boys that we've always been. We're just high-class hillbillies, bringing country to the city. You see us everywhere you go, you hear us on the radio. You can put us in a suit, polish up our boots, but nothing's gonna change really. We're just high-class hillbillies. We're just high-class hillbillies. We're just high-class hillbillies.
Truer words were never sung. You gotta love it. Moving right along, as the saying goes, Marty Raybon and Lady A, who used to be Lady Antebellum, will make you take a step back and fall in love with that special lady in your life all over again with this one. Open your mind's eyes and remember why you fell in love, and then whisper to that girl and tell her, honey, every time I look at you, well, you know the rest.
getting ready on Friday, oh, like how do I look in this dress? Anything that you put on, baby, that's how I like you best. Standing there when you're fixing your hair, wish you could only see the way you look, the way I stare, the way my heart skips a beat. 'Cause you look like some girl out of a magazine, talking one out of a million, best I ever seen. Call me a lovely man, call me a lovesick fool. Hey, it blows my mind, girl, every time I look at you. Just look at you, girl. You ought to see how the heads turn every time you walk in the room. It's like a mic drop, everything stops, all eyes on you. And I'm just the guy with a girl that everybody wants to meet. They're thinking, man, what did he do to have her arms all over me? 'Cause you look like some girl out of a magazine, talking one out of a million, best I ever seen. Call me a looking man, call me a lovesick fool. Hey, it blows my mind, girl, every time I look at you. Just look at you, girl. Oh, yeah. Ain't no doubt, baby, you were sent from above. I can't help but looking good, I can't get enough. 'Cause you look like some girl out of a magazine. I'm talking one out of a million, best I ever see. Call me a looking man, say I'm a lovesick fool. It blows my mind, girl, every time I look at you. Oh, it blows my mind, girl, every time I look at you. Oh, look at you, girl. Just look at you, girl.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing dreams are made of. Words. We use them every day. But there's one, the word if. What a huge, little bitty word. Brad Paisley joined Shenandoah on this song we can all relate to. I know I can make a list a mile long of all those ifs, and life would be perfect.
If chocolate didn't make you fat, and people made a little more sense, if tires they never went flat, and hail never left a dent, if Mondays were a little more fun, and guitars stayed in tune, if I had a little more time to spend with you, yeah, life would be perfect, perfect, my kind of making a shade. The sun would be shining way too bright to rain on my parade. If everybody had somebody, it'd be better than just okay. Your life would be perfect every day. I wish Walmart had a barn and old dogs didn't die. If I had my high school car, we'd be singing to American Pie, sitting on a levee on the hood of that Chevy, watching the sun go down. Right now, yeah, life would be perfect, perfect, my kind of making the shade. The sun would be shining way too bright to rain on my parade. If everybody had somebody, it'd be better than just okay. okay. Yeah, life would be perfect every day. Here we go now. If bad days had a rewind and good days had a pause, we'd find a song to dance to, and we'd all sing along. 'Cause life would be perfect, perfect, my kind of make me shade. The sun would be shining way too bright to rain on my parade. If everybody had somebody, it'd be better than just okay. Yeah, life would be perfect every day. Yeah, life would be perfect every day.
You can say that again. You know, I remember all those years ago when I met that knight in shining armor, and not a day too soon. There's nothing like that feeling, is there? Carly Pearce adds the perfect touch to this one that has all the right words and perfect harmonies. I'll be your everything.
When it seems the world is closing in and you can't find you one true friend, when your rope is at its end, just listen. I'll pick you up when you get down. I'll set your feet here on solid ground. I'll turn your whole life around if you'll let me. I'll be your first breath in the morning. I'll be the first beat of your heart. I'll be the glimmer of sun that comes and breaks the dark. I'll be your constant reminder. There's something good about today. Just let me lead the way. I'll fill your every need. I'll be your everything.
You haven't learned to let go yet, drowning in the sea of regrets. Now the shame of your past won't let you forget, but I will. And I'll flow over you like a melody. Oh, and I'll flood your soul with perfect peace. Just when you expect it least, well, I'll be your first breath in the morning. I'll be the first beat of your heart. I'll be the glimmer of sun that comes and breaks the dark.
I'll be your constant reminder. There's something good about today.
Just let me lead the way. I'll fill your every need. I'll be your everything.
Just let me lead the way. I'll fill your every need.
Wow, that is such a gorgeous song in every way. In fact, every song on this album is the #1 hit as far as I'm concerned. Marty, you all outdid yourselves. You know, today is the official release date of Then a Girl Walks In from Shenandoah's album entitled Every Road, and you're hearing it first right here on NBRN. So please go to Shenandoah's website, www.shenandoahband.com, and grab this album with both hands. And while you're there, be sure to get a souvenir shirt or a hat with the band name and the song titles. Tell all your friends you got them first, and you heard Alicia tell you about it on NBRN Online. Well, we're down to the last song, Boots on Broadway, and it says a mouthful. Listen for those plays on words. I've had such a great time today with all of you and with Marty. Thank you so much for listening, and be sure to join me again right here on NBRN, the Nashville Broadcasting Radio Network. Until then, from country music around the world, this is Alicia with Marty Raybon of Shenandoah saying so long until next time, and may God bless you real good.
Wearing coveralls, that man made it all look easy. Working his table saw like a pro. And he'd say, son, it's an old machine, and the gears stay clean pretty easy, but it gets real mean when you go against the grain. I look around and I see boots on Broadway. They ain't even broken in. Life on the walkway ain't no line. Maybe I'm steeped in the old ways. Might never see a closet if these were the old days. You might find more like my boots on Broadway. Doing the Nashville thing, wanting to sing and play nothing cheesy, writing a different way from the soul. And they'd say, son, it's an old machine, and the gears stay clean pretty easy, but it gets real mean when you go against the grain. I look around and I see boots on Broadway. They ain't even broken in. Life on the walkway ain't no line. Maybe I'm steeped in the old ways. Might never see a closet if these were the old days. You might find more like my boots on Broadway. And I see boots on Broadway. They ain't even broken in. Life on the walkway ain't no line. Maybe I'm steeped in the old ways. Might never see a closet if these were the old days. You might find more like my boots on Broadway. Yeah. Boots on Broadway. Life is an old machine, and the gears stay clean pretty easy, but there's a time you'll see when you go against the grain.